Okay.
Yeah, cool. So if you can.
I'll take care, don't worry. Yeah.
So let's start today about the foreign accounts. I think you heard of me on the radio talking about foreign accounts. Nobody heard. So what's happening in this scenario is, in today's scenario about foreign accounts, it was always the regulation since 1970s. What happened is a lot of people, what they've done is they've come from various parts of the country, outside the US. They migrated to the US from different parts of the world. Got naturalized into citizenship and resident, and become a resident, a green card. And they forgot to report the accounts that they have outside US, maybe in Europe or India, Pakistan, China, whatnot. So the IRS, what happened is a lot of people were moving their funds from here to Cayman Islands to Singapore, via Singapore, quotations for there. They came to know, IRS came to know, we are losing a lot of revenue because the funds are being shifted from this country to that country. And on those funds, nobody is paying taxes. So West Indies Islands, Cayman Islands, all these were tax haven countries. People used to rotate their funds from here to there and then bring it back to somewhere else, not here. Use it. So they came to know about all these fraud schemes. In Arthur Anderson, have you heard?
Yes.
CPA firm. So all this, the CPA firm, there's a big CPA firm. So all the partners were doing all those schemes, and they got busted. So now they have that information. Oh, these people are coming from different parts and they're putting money in different countries and not coming. This money is not coming back to US, and these people are not paying tax. So then they started looking at Switzerland, Swiss accounts. They say a lot of people have Swiss bank accounts. A lot of Indians have Swiss bank accounts. Every country in the world has Swiss bank accounts, and a lot of people in the country have Swiss bank accounts. They have the highest bank secrecy. The highest bank secrecy means they will not give you information about the account holders. So the IRS went inside, talked to the Union Bank of Switzerland, all these banks. They said, "Hey guys, we know you have secrecy about your accounts, but these people are our people. They are citizens of this country, they are residents of this country, and we have a system of worldwide income taxability. The US is the only country in the world that taxes worldwide income. Means if you have income outside the US, you have to pay tax on that, no matter from where you are. If you have income from outside US, you have to pay tax."
Excuse me. Can I have a volunteer from this table who can take notes on what's being discussed and then write a small write-up after the meeting today, tomorrow? Anybody? Anything. All the guidelines are here. This is to benefit folks who are not on this table. What's being discussed? Yeah.
Do one thing. You two, one of us get combined.
Okay, but the thing is, you'll have to take this home with you and then compose and email it to me.
Yeah.
Sorry. There's some guidelines and space to write inside. Thank you. Sorry.
No problem. So coming back to the discussion about the worldwide income taxability. So therefore,
Citizens and the green card holders.
yeah, I'm coming there. I'm coming. It's applicable basically. I will come to that. Whom are applicable? It's basically everybody. Basically, I will tell you in a little bit. So this country is the only country in the world whose tax system is based upon worldwide income. This is the only country. So people who have income outside or who have accounts outside, they have to report.
When you say accounts, you're just talking
I'm going
about the
there.
bank account.
I'm going there. I'm just going through the history of what's happening. Then we can go into some more specific. So the IRS talked to the Swiss banks. They got the information. They said, okay, these people are not paying taxes. We don't want to know what their balances are. We don't want to do anything with the secrecy part. But we want to get the names of the people who are having an account there. And they got Mastercard. They got an agreement with Mastercard, Visa, and all these companies, and they have the full information in place. What money has been transferred from here to there, and what payments are being done through the credit card. So they analyzed all the system, and they started issuing notices to those people. They found out that those people said, "You have to give us some amnesty because we don't know what's going on. We were not told by the accountants. We were not told by any person. We were not aware of it." I said, "Okay, that's fine. Let's give them an amnesty scheme." So the first amnesty scheme came in 2009, October 2009. But that scheme was not publicized anywhere. Not many people knew about it. Only 25 people complied under that requirement. Only 25 people filed. They said that's not going to work. They collected a lot of money, basically from Swiss bank accounts. Now their target they know that Indians, Chinese people, and Philippines, these people make a lot of money here in this country. So say, why not we extend our things to these countries? So what they did is, one of the guy from in New York, I don't want to name all this, I want to make it generalized. One of the guy in New York, he has a HSBC account. He made some fraud in the business transactions. Like he showed a lot of expenses and all this stuff. I don't want to go more into specifics of what he did. So the IRS called that person. I said, "Okay, why you are doing all these transfers and all these overseas transactions?" He said, "I was not doing it. Nobody told me." So they penalized him a big lot of money. He was sent to jail for like 5 years. Now came the quick. So they said, "Oh, this HSBC is an Indian account, Indian bank, and it looks like a Hong Kong bank, but has a branch in India. A lot of people go through HSBC. Why not we start sending notices to HSBC customers?" So they started doing all those things. Right now they are doing it. But again, the scenario came. The people said, "We were not doing our 2009 scheme. Nobody told us." I said, "Okay, fine. Let's give the second chance." So this in today's scenario, there's a second amnesty scheme going on right now. The deadline is August 31st, 2011. You can extend it for 2 months. So that amnesty scheme came into being because of all these issues. Now, the question comes: why this scheme? Why this scheme is applicable to whom? This scheme is applicable.
Could you repeat what is that scheme? And
It's known as Offshore Voluntary Disclosure Income Scheme, OVDI, 2011. It started in month of March 2011. Deadline is August 31st, 2011. Now the thing came, this scheme is applicable to whom? So this scheme is applicable to people who are green card, who are citizens, people who are on H1, L1, F1, Q1, J1, anyone.
Really?
Provided these people have the tendency that they want to stay in this country. They applied for green card. They're showing like they have applied for 140, 485. They're showing intent to live in this country on a long-term basis. They should have qualified. They should have at least 3 years of residence here, no matter what happens with the H1 or extension and all that stuff. So if those things are fulfilled, it applies to them too. It basically applies to all US residents. Of course, if it's L1 visa, who has come here for like 1 year or 2 years, that's fine. H1 visa, 1 or 2 years is fine. As long as it's more than 3 years, file the green card or file the 140, 485, waiting for visa numbers, waiting to do this all applies to them.
so this scheme is August 20,
Sorry?
August 11, 31st, 2011, right? So your transaction should have been between what time?
Yeah,
to-
I'm coming there. So I'm coming one by one. So this scheme applies to who? Now everybody's clear. This scheme applies to everybody. Second thing is what this scheme contains. So this scheme is looking for filing FBARs, foreign bank accounts and reporting. Now what are those? Foreign bank accounts and reporting. That's a very important aspect. We have to understand that. What is foreign bank accounts? What is reporting? As I said, this US taxation is based upon taxability of worldwide income. So if you're coming from India, if you have an NRE account, an RO account, FCNR account, regular checking account, regular saving account, PPF account, LIC policy, NSC account, Indra Vikas Patra accounts, any account where the balance in that account when I say balance means end of day balance. That means the balance means in the bank, the balance outstanding. Balance in that account on any day is $10,000 or more. It can be in one account, it can be combined together to $10,000 or more. So suppose you have two accounts or three accounts, and each account has like $5,000, $4,000. Combined is more than $10,000. This scheme applies to that. So you have to report that account.
Just a quick question on the same count, right? So your LIC is an accumulated
Very good,
fund.
very good question. So LIC policy, you have a cash surrender value there.
Or you need to get the cash surrender value, then only you can account it as that amount.
Because that cash surrender value is available to you.
Okay.
What is it called? Cash what?
Cash
surrender
surrender value,
value.
CSV,
Cash
cash surrender
surrender
value. So same thing with NSE certificates, same thing with RBI bonds and all those things, because you have the match, you have the year to date, they give you the figure. Today, if you take the money out, you will get this much.
So as of August 31st, your cash surrender
No,
value.
so I'm coming there. So what is the deadline? I'm coming to that question. So these are the accounts you have to report. And what is the deadline? What is the date for these accounts? They said from 2003 to 2010. So if you have an account in India, between this time, from 2003 to 2010, if your balance in that account $10,000 or more, you have to report another step.
Any time within the 7 years.
Anytime. By December 31st, 2000. By the end of the December 31st of that year, if you're having balance of $10,000 or more, any day, any day during that year. For example, let's take 2010, January to December. Till October, you have one account. In that account, you have only $8,000. You don't need to report. Till December 30th, still have $8,000. You don't need to report. But on December 31st, you transfer money from here to that account. $3,000. So that money gets transferred. It's reflected in the bank account there. December 31st, $3,000. Balance is now $11,000. So you have to report that.
The question is, say, you are transacting now. Okay, you transferred say $20,000, which is your account is now more than, and then you disperse that for a family or a property purchase.
Very good
or
question. So if you disperse that account, did you disperse it immediately?
could be a period of time to say,
So it's the balance. It's the balance on any day.
okay, balance on any day.
So
Even if it's for a single day, you're saying.
Even if for a single day, on any day. So if you transfer money from here to there. Now coming to transfer of money, I will come to that question. Like people will ask me, always ask me this question: How come these people will know what we are doing? There's a very easy answer for that. You have a PAN number in India for opening a bank account, or buying a property or selling a property. You have PAN number. People say, I don't have it. Then you have PIO card or OCI card. People say, I don't have it. Then they are transferring money how? They are transferring either they are using the wire transfer, or they are using Western Union, or they are using some other form. They cannot transfer cash.
Correct.
They have to use the system here. And that system has regulations. And that regulation is reporting to the IRS, Department of Treasury. So they have that
Bank account
information.
right here. So you have State Bank of India right here in San Jose.
That's fine.
If I go and deposit there, it's not a wire transfer. But that bank is obligated to.
That's because they have to follow the US regulations. They're not going to follow Indian regulations. They're going to follow US regulations. So they are giving that information to the government. Department of Treasury.
How about the property?
Property, I'll come to the next
Just
question.
I have a question. Say, for example, I don't remember that from 2003, sometime back, I might have done something like this. Maybe like I have more than 4 lakhs, which is $10,000. So how do I know that? I don't remember.
Great question. So how do you know that? So you have a passport?
Yeah, I have passport, but
No passport. You have a passport of the company, of the bank account.
oh yeah, I have ICICI Bank itself.
So you have that. You have the passport. You can see the balance there.
Do they maintain the historical data for 2003?
They have all the data. They have all the data. You can call the bank if they're not if they're not giving you the data. You can always say that I contacted this bank, show them my email, and that's fine. That's okay with that. So the bank should say they are not able to give you the data. then you're off the hook.
From 2003 onwards.
2003 to 2010. These are the years. If you apply under the scheme, this is the OVDI scheme. If you apply under the scheme, anything like before 2003, no, you're off the hook. You don't need to report. So only for 2003 to 2010, that's the scheme applies. Now coming to the accounts, so I told about accounts.
So nothing about 2011 though?
Nothing. No, not yet. 2011.
11 next year.
Next year, we're still.
I
So we will go to after effects of this scheme.
So
So
August 31st is for 2010.
August 31st is for all those years, 2003 to 2010. December 31st, 2010.
Just
Any
to
balance.
confirm, I'm just saying that balance more than 10,000 before 2003 is okay.
Before 2000 is okay. If you apply under the scheme,
So
Now-
under scheme means I didn't get it.
if you apply this OVDI scheme, this is OVDI scheme is going on right now, MNC scheme number 2.
So it does not apply to any checking account that is there.
It applies to all like I told you, regular checking accounts, regular saving accounts.
Anything
money
we
is
say.
sent.
Say, I mean, yeah, the question is, okay, as a checking account, say I have an agricultural account, I have agriculture income, I'm remitting money, I'm dispersing for agriculture income, and then also I'm getting it back as a revenue, which is mixed between your transaction to, and then this. So how are you going to?
That's a great question. Agriculture income is exempt in India.
Correct.
But not here.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's now coming to the income reporting. I will come to the income reporting. So I'm doing our balance account reporting. Then I'm going to come to the income reporting. Then I will talk about Indian transactions.
Okay, sorry.
So accounts balances, everybody is clear about the balance in the accounts. FD account, CD account, NRI account.
are also included.
Okay, that's a great. So that's the bank accounts. Now coming to securities. So if you have investment in stocks, in mutual funds, in India, in demat account, and you will transfer money from here to there, and those stocks valuation as of December 31st for each year is more than $10,000, you have to report it. Now how will you get that value? Fair market value of those stocks as of the end of the December 31st. So you have to report those values. So it will include the securities, it will include the LIC policies. Now if you own I don't know how many people own a company in India, but if you own a company account in India, if you have a company there and you are signed the signature of the company, your parent might have made your signature. So most of the time parents do come to me with their kids. Our parents don't realize that we are living in US. They still think you are a kid, you are from India, and we have to give you more, like you have to transfer money. They don't realize the repercussion of that. So sometimes they have a lot of properties, they have a lot of companies, they make you as MD or CEO or whatnot, but they don't realize what repercussions it may have. So if you're not aware of it, go to your parent, find out. Most of the time, parents have joint accounts, right, with the bank. They have joint account on the property, they have joint account everything. So you have to report those accounts too, because you are joint on this. There's no concept who is on the first, who is on the second.
We're talking about only accounts. What if you bring up a good point. What if we own some land, agricultural land? It came from great grandparents.
Whatever.
Right?
If you own any property there, let's come to the property. If you own any property there, you don't have to report anything unless that property earns income.
Oh, I see.
No.
So it's okay to have 10 tons of gold in bank. You don't have to report
No,
anything.
if you have 10 tons of gold, you're not going to report anywhere, right? The valuation of that gold.
It's not.
It's going to be in
not
the
a
locker. It's
declarable.
going to be in the locker.
Oh, I
not
see.
an declared
There's no
income.
passbook. There's no passbook there.
So as long as it is okay, numbers are visible in a bank, then I think.
I think as long as it is an asset,
As long as its value is visible, that's the right word is visible,
Visible.
and the
point.
bank account balance is reported.
coming to that point on investment on the company. So I made some investments. I made $50,000 investment on the
$50,000
company.
on which account?
On
which
the
bank?
company that you are owning, right?
So you own a company there?
Yeah, I own a company.
So you are 100% shareholder of the company? Or
I have
80%?
61% shareholder.
So you have to report that, on the form that known as, I think the form number is TDF. That's an important form. TDF 90-22.1. In that form, there is part 5. You have to prepare. So it consists of 5 parts. That form consists of 5 parts. First part is file information. It's information about you. Second one is if you own any account separately, means in your name. Third part is if you own any account jointly, means with your wife, with your kid, with your parent. Fourth is financial control. Financial control over securities and whatnot. Fifth is financial control over the company accounts. So that will be reported on the part 5 of the form. That is a form known as F bar, and the form number is that one. If you don't file this form,
Okay, just a quick continue. So this company is not making profit. You invested it, you acquired it, and it's not even bringing money. So then how do you declare? It's not even
just is declaration of the information. It's just information gathering. Information gathering for long term. The idea is different.
So this is an investment for 1.5 years now.
Yeah, but the idea is to get the information from you and see whether it gets reflected on the
Whether it's
tax
going to
return.
succeed or not.
Succeed or not. So that's the question. Yeah, go ahead.
You got the rental property, right? So, say for example, if you are getting the money and then, so you have 2 brothers and then...
So let me come on the income side because I'm talking
Sanjay,
about
how much time do you have? Because if we ask
Yeah.
any questions, we are not able to give you
Well, I have 7:30.
7:30. So maybe we can ask questions in the end, like
Okay.
because we want to listen to
I think these are like interactive because what happens is, at the end you have no question.
Yeah.
It's like
So
you are
let me go to the
Let him express
let me go to the system because it's a lot of things inside. So the accounts balances. I finished with the account balances. Now coming to the income report. Lot of time what happens is on your taxes. How many people do their own taxes? You do your own taxes? What about others?
Yeah, so when I use some...
I'm an accountant.
What about you?
Yeah.
I have a CPA.
With CPA? You do
No, I have a CPA. I have accountant. Yeah.
Okay.
But I...
Turbo tax. So you use your something. You're doing your own. So let me ask you, did you see on Schedule B Part 3?
Scheduled by the part 3. I remember.
Did you any of your HR blog, the CPA, the accountant, did they ask you that question? Part 3 Schedule B? Yes. That's
But
very
Mr. Gupta, my CPA, who is a devout Christian Korean from Fremont, she's been telling me for last 2-3 years, all the Citibank or ICCI accounts I get, the tax thing, she takes them and files it.
No, but did she ask you about this Part 3 Schedule B?
No. She's
That's the
from Korea.
problem. That's where the problem is. Okay. All the returns, this is part of your return. It's foreign accounts question. There's a foreign account question, Part 3 of Schedule B.
They will ask you yes or no.
Yeah, but Schedule B is what? You do your taxes, right?
Yeah,
What is Schedule
I
B?
do some Schedule C.
So the Schedule B is interest income.
All extra.
So on the Schedule B,
Okay.
there is a third portion. It says foreign account question. In that foreign account question, it asks you, do you own any interest or any bank account in outside US? And it says name of the country, yes or no. So a lot of time, like everybody, like 90% of the people don't even know what's going on. So what happens? The tax preparer, the turbo tax, what it does, it says no.
No, everything. By default, it is no, I think.
It's no.
But
And that means your return is not filed correctly.
Oh, okay.
It's not completed return if you have an account in India.
Right.
But on the other side, say if you would have you would have bought a property and you are paying interest on that.
I'll come on the
Then-
property
okay.
side. I'm coming on the reporting income
Okay,
side.
okay.
So it's the return is not filed correctly.
Right.
Now, what happens if the return is not filed correctly? Can anyone answer this question?
Audit and
It's
investigate.
not audit.
They can put a fine nowadays.
Your statute of limitation is not there. They can open all the returns back. Whenever. I thought there is a 10 years. No. Once this return is not complete, there is no time limitation. They can go back till the year you came from that country and open it anything. That's the problem with this return. Now, if the question you answer is yes, then you have to file this form, FBAR.
Oh, okay.
If it's more than $10,000.
Right.
If it's less than $10,000, you don't need to report. But still you have to answer yes.
I see.
Now, what will appear on Schedule B? That's an important question. That's also we are missing, the income side. So interest income earned on the bank accounts in India right? How many people know there's a tax deducted source in India?
Because ICICI always send you that.
Yeah, both ICCI
If it's a corporation bank, if it's a Oriental Bank of Commerce,
and all.
if it's other bank, do you receive anything?
No.
Tax related source I do get it from the bank.
Which bank do you have?
Citibank.
Citibank is fine. What about other banks?
No, SBI and all
Or
they
State
don't.
Bank of Maharashtra. What is the State Bank of whatever?
No, none of those local
None of
nationalized
those
banks,
people.
they don't.
But when you go back to your country, when you go home, you look at the statement, right? Every people will go to the bank, right? Did you ask that question? How much interest income I'm making? You see that?
But Gupta sir, if you go to ICCI bank and tell them, okay, give me my TDS certificate, they'll print it for you. But you ask them.
I'm not talking about ICICI Bank.
Just clear.
Other than ICICI Bank.
Okay.
You have a local cooperative bank.
Local bank, corporation bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce, Bank of Maharashtra, Allahabad Bank. There's so many banks are there. You name it, the banks are there.
You just wait for a day or 2 days.
HSBC, I'm not talking about HSBC, I'm not talking about State Bank of India, I'm not talking about Citibank.
Even
It's all the-
SBI doesn't have.
Even Standard Chartered Bank doesn't have, ENG, Grinders Bank doesn't have.
Unless you really are going to give it.
And we go to the country, we transfer money from here to there, we put in a CD, but we are happy, oh, we are making money there, that's good, we are not showing here. But we don't realize that interest income under CD is reported here. It needs to be reported on Schedule B. Now, how it happens, how it works, whatever interest income you make on that CD. Now the question will come, asking what I will let me. The question often comes to me is, how will you calculate the interest? How do you know how to arrive at the interest? Because in India, it's a fiscal year. It starts from, you understand what is fiscal year?
Yeah.
It starts from April 1st of the year to March 31st. Now this is the calendar year, from January to December. So how will you calculate that? What you have to do is, you see the balance from January, you ask the bank, what's my balance on January 1st, what's my balance on December 31st, what's the average balance of my account, just take the average balance, take the average rate of interest, multiply by the average rate of interest, put it on the Schedule B. Now, there will be tax deducted at source on that, understand tax deducted source. There will be tax deducted at source, everybody understand tax deducted source. In India, there's a law that they have to take out tax deducted source, unless you give them Form 15G. There's a Form 15G. If you give them Form 15G, they will not take out the tax out. Okay? So if you've not done that, then they will take the tax deducted source 20%. So you ask your bank to give that tax deducted source certificate. When you get that certificate, right, you can get a credit for a tax you have paid. So what happens, what we are doing is, we are including the interest income to your other income, right, and we are giving you a credit for the tax you pay there. So it's reasonable, right? Everything is reasonable. Everything looks reasonable, right? As far as we report, everything looks reasonable. Now comes the Indian part. So when you go to India, who is filing your tax return? Anybody knows who is filing?
I have a
your tax
chartered accountant.
in India? Do you know what return is filing?
He's flying. In fact, the good thing is, from apartments I'm renting, we file every year and we file it.
No, I know every year filing, but what he know? Do you ask this question to him? What return is filing?
This is the income tax return.
Income tax return is the same. But what return? Is it resident, non-resident? What type of return?
Not bad.
How do you know that?
But in India, if you are an NRI with any residency status, up to 7 years, there is no tax liability, right?
No, there's no tax liability, but we have to report in India because they have to keep on record the income report.
So if you don't have PAN number, say for example, I don't have PAN number for 2003 to 2006 or
No,
7.
PAN number, if you don't have, that's fine. That's okay. As long as you have a PAN number.
I have a correct because anytime I get the TDS में जो जाता है ना, I get that money back, right? Every year I get that money back.
Money back from the tax return in India.
Yeah, but that thing comes to the home address in India. So
That's fine. So that's a good question. Now, does your CPA here see that return?
No.
Why? Because he doesn't know. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to convert those numbers and how to reflect on the tax return. And that's why I told in the beginning, this country the income is based on worldwide income. you have to include worldwide income on your taxes. It's not only US income, it's worldwide income. That's why they found out this is a great way of making money. And you don't need
Easy
to do
money.
Easy money. And if I tell you about penalties, you will run out from here.
$10,000.
No, not $10,000. If you don't file this form, the penalty is $50,000 and 5 years in
What's the
jail.
form name?
Well, then they have to build a really big jail for all of us.
Okay, that's I'm coming there. So what they're going to do? Coming 2000, well, they will busy till 2012 because of the elections.
Yeah.
But starting 2013, they're going to look at this transfers, and they will not go put you in jail. They will just send you notices for the money
Yeah.
because they need money. Either needs money, you know that what's going on.
But
in the politics.
Sanjay, what I'm hearing is, like a lot of Indians are angry on this because they
don't
want
worry
US
about
government, to go against Chinese, Taiwanese, Jews in Israel. Why they're targeting Indians?
They're not targeting. That's why I told in the beginning.
That's not right.
How they come to India.
It's for everybody.
It's not Indians. They started with Swiss account. They started
Partially, I agree with him because most of the transactions that come from Hong Kong, which is China, outright buying of your cash purchase of the property, this is coming. So Hong Kong is not coming under this tax law at all.
It will come.
It will come, but
And
it's not there
is
now.
the next line of action is Mauritius. Big tax haven country, double tax avoidance.
There's a lot of Indians and Chinese
Double
have
tax
Hong
avoidance
Kong,
because
account in Hong Kong, which they come.
lot of company people, Indian people who are having companies in India, they set up company in Mauritius and rotate all the
A
payments.
lot of corporations do that, right?
That corporation, they have on the list. So all these things are happening. I told you why these things are happening. They started from Swiss, from the Caribbean islands, Caribbean islands, this one, Cayman Islands, and then they went to Swiss accounts. Then now coming to India. They see Indians, Chinese, they have a lot of wealth, and they are not following these regulations, which is there since 1970. So coming to the income reporting, so that's the part of Schedule B. Now coming to property accounts, Schedule E. So as if you own a property in India or anywhere outside US, in Canada maybe, they are targeting Canada too. Canada, UK, Mexico. So if you own property in those countries, any country basically outside US, and you are making investment through here, means you transfer money for investment, people will say, I take a loan in India. I take a loan to construct a property. Can I deduct that loan? People are doing that. I see a lot of returns, CPAs, the accountants, I don't know from where they're putting the interest payment on the loan and claiming on Schedule A. You know Schedule A is admin deductions. Mortgage interest. And putting that interest deduction on Schedule A.
But the property is in India.
It is not allowed. When we are not showing this file, we are not showing this returns, and we are taking the deductions.
Who cannot do that?
We cannot do that. People are doing it. CPAs are doing that.
Well, if you
Accountants are doing it.
but if you file this, then you can.
If you file that, then it's fine. But then it's showing that.
Is it fine? So for foreign property investment, mortgage is fine?
It's fine. It's fine as long as there's income there.
So you report that income?
Report that income on Schedule E. That's what I'm coming to. So Schedule E, if you own any property there
Okay.
and you rent it out,
Okay.
you have to show the rental income there,
Correct.
in India, and here.
That's
There,
fine.
if you don't give that form, there is a tax deducted at source on the rental income. Right? You can claim that credit again on the taxes here. If you report that income here, you can report the interest as deductions on the property.
So there was
Tax there or not?
If you qualify, there's some deductions there. Right? If you qualify, you have to pay tax there. But whatever tax you pay on that property, you can take a credit for that.
Indian citizens, can Indian citizens own stocks, property, non-Indian citizens, US citizens, can they own stocks, properties and bank accounts?
Demand account, they can own anything. They can see that's the beauty of the internet. Once you open a bank account, you can go and
question.
Legally,
Question is,
it's legal. That's why that's the information is coming here for filing the form. That's the importance of this. That's all these things are coming because we are doing on the internet and we are doing from here. We are not going to India and doing from there.
so you bought a property. I mean, what you are saying is property income. Say I don't have property. You bought a property and you are paying. Say you own a 30-40 lakhs. So that becomes your secondary home because this is your primary home. And the secondary home, the interest that you pay is tax exempted, right?
Is tax exempt from where?
From US.
Who said? Why is tax exempt?
Because, I mean,
It cannot be a secondary home. We can't go there to live there, right?
no, what happens is the primary home, whatever the taxes you pay as 100% is tax exempt, right?
Not tax exempt.
You
tax
say I have,
deductions.
no,
Tax
my
deductions.
parents are living, I am buying a home for them to live.
There's a gift. I don't want to go into that area.
Okay.
Now you're coming into gift tax administration. So that
It's
will
not,
be.
it's not a gift, the property is owned by you.
No, that's a gift. If you're making payments on it and they're living in the house, it's a gift of payments, mortgage payments. $30,000 cannot exceed. So I don't want to make it more complicated in that area.
Sanjay,
Then we'll.
I have a rental income. I'm not using it. But it's parents.
So when you say rental income, the next question is how do you acquire that property?
I actually bought it before I came.
Before you through your funds in India, and that source is you file your tax returns in India and tax paid
So
account.
that was 1990.
Tax paid accounts. Okay.
So then now I'm here, and my brother used to live there. Now whatever he rented it out, and the income actually my parents use. So I don't use that income. So
That's fine. So are you depositing that income there somewhere in the account?
it's in my parents' account, not mine.
That's fine. It's okay. But if you're owning the property
I own the property.
and if the money is going to your parent account, you're giving gift.
Okay, should I?
So if it's more than $30,000 per year, you have to report on gift tax return. That's also another area we are not working.
But there is no tax though.
There's no tax, but there's
You have to
non-filing of
report
return.
it. Exactly. Okay. Okay.
It's a non-filing of the
Giving there is no
709.
issue at all. Up to $1 million, it seems there is an exemption.
No,
you can go and
but
pay.
again, we are not filing the return.
Right. That is that. Okay.
So it's all about reporting.
All right. Now one more question. If you property issue, let's say if his property came from ancestors, and that ancestral property is generating revenue. None of his money came
So
from
if
America.
the-
It came from his father or great
Whatever,
grandfather,
if the
right?
ancestors has gifted the property to him, there should be a gift.
Not gift. It's not a gift.
So you own it.
By
It's
virtue
inheritance.
of inheritance, it comes.
That's
Then
what
what?
that's what it is. So if he's inheriting the property, the title has been transferred.
What is that?
If
Tax?
his title has been transferred to him,
Right. Right.
right?
Yeah.
Once he becomes a owner, he has to report it. Whether it's ancestral property or
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. He's a owner. He's a title.
He owns it.
He owns it.
Okay.
No, but what about income on that property?
You have to report. Schedule E. I told you, Schedule E. You have to report the income.
So the fundamental, the basic question is, say, all this reporting comes only once you have a PAN card, right? Or you
No.
don't? It doesn't matter.
It's irrespective of PAN number. I told you the reasons why the people will ask me how they will know.
Okay.
That's why the PAN number is there, the PIO card is there, OCI card is there. Then you're transferring using the resources of here, transferring money, wire transfer, Western Union, whatnot.
So whatever the income that you are generated, if you are not depositing into any of, because
Income generated in India,
correct.
if it's on title, if you're not depositing income in any account using that money, but the question will come. That's fine. You can work around the system, but the question will come when you sell that property. I've not touched that topic. When you sell the property, how are you going to bring that money here? And then the question will become more complicated when you have black money there.
So, put simply, so as per the new law, anytime you have more than $12,000 interest income outside US,
New law is not 10, 12,000. Interest income is $1.
even $1
Yeah. Of course.
Is the balance more than 10,000?
Earlier he was discussing about donation, not donation. What do you call the gift tax?
Yep.
You see, up to $13,000, you don't have to
The
report.
$13,000
That's
is
what he was
gift tax
talking about.
regulations. So if you give any gift or you transfer money to a parent or something, you cannot exceed more than $30,000.
Correct.
If
Per
you exceed
person.
$30,000 per person, then you have to report on 709. If you don't file the 709, there's a penalty. It's $500 per year. It's
So
compounded.
coming to another, so you had a property before you came to this country, right?
Right.
And now you sell that property.
No. The property has been acquired with which resources?
The earlier income, the tax
So
paid
are you-
in
Or
India.
came from parents, whatever.
That is ancestor. I don't want to go there.
Okay.
You were working.
So you have a basis for investment.
Correct.
Okay.
I had a basis for investment. You made a genuine investment. Now you sell it because of this one. Economical condition. You want to sell it. So you
So there's
sell
no
it.
rental income on the property.
No. It was only the real estate property.
Okay.
So now you have got a huge amount of money.
Right.
So $100,000.
Right.
So you have put it into your foreign account, which is FCNR or
FC, NR, NRO, you have to put in NRO account first.
Okay. So you
Because they
cannot
will
put
take-
directly into FCNR?
No, they will first take it as a rupee account. So
Okay,
so
so,
it will first put it.
okay, now you put it into NCR. So now what happens to that?
You have to report it. And you have to report the gain. So now I'm coming to the property sale. So if you're making any gain on the property, in India, is long-term capital gain is taxed at 20%.
Correct.
Here it is taxed at 15%. 15%.
15, yeah.
But there's a problem in India. Long-term capital gain is computed at 3 years. You have to hold that property for 3 years or more.
Okay,
Here it is 1 year or more.
yeah, right.
Now the thing is, if you are selling that property there at a gain, you can invest that gain in capital gains exemption bonds, UTI bonds, whatever, ULIP and yes, 3 years bonds are there.
Correct.
If you invest that gain in that bonds, you're not going to pay any tax in India, but you're going to pay tax here on that gain,
On in that interest.
on that gain, gain.
And the interest that you're getting from the bond also going forward.
Interest naturally, it's not exempted. So it's
They're getting it from every side.
so it's important. That's why it's very important to not to invest the gain in bonds.
Right.
Not
Not to
Investing in gain bonds, yeah.
So because you're paying higher tax there, but you get a credit for the tax here. So it's always advisable to pay the tax there and then take a credit here.
There is one catch. I want to
Because
ask
they are
one
taxed at
thing.
20%.
Your question from buying property in India
net
with
you
your
have more
own
money
money,
left, right?
with your Indian
Save the
income.
tax, more tax, more
Let's say-
percentage.
That's what I asked.
but
He said, no, it's still not.
Yeah, if you save something more, then it's
Now
fine.
the value is 100,000. He bought it for 50,000. Now what happens? Because that is your Indian income.
So I saved 20%.
20% of the gain. Yes.
20% of the gain.
You save, but you're on $1,000 you gain, but you're paying tax here on $1,000.
I'm saving 20% now. I'm
In
saving
India,
$200 there.
in India you're saving, but you're not saving any tax here.
But you're paying 15, that is $450.
$150.
So in net, you have more money left, right?
But you pay 150. You save 20%. Yeah, net to
Otherwise,
net.
net you have more money
net to
left.
net.
Why? I mean, my
But the-
focus is not to pay less money to American government. My focus is to keep more money, right?
Yeah, that is fine.
Very good point.
That's a good point.
Very good point.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So coming to that question of the selling of the property. So tax aspect is that one. Now the question comes how to bring that money in. Once you file the return, once you pay the tax here and there, or capital
So
gain.
20 plus 15, 30%, 35% you end up
Why
paying.
don't you pay both?
No.
No, 20%, okay. Go
No,
ahead.
you will get a credit. You're not losing anything.
Right, okay.
It's not double tax.
No, here, there is one more confusion.
One more,
Let's say,
yeah, go
let
ahead.
me explain the situation. Let's say he bought a property 10 years ago for $50,000 and now want to sell the property for $100,000. That money, $50,000 based on Indian income. He wasn't even in US, right? Now $50,000 is gain because of the Indian income.
No,
Still,
still because he's residing here.
no, man, this.
No, not so. At that 50,000, here are your options. Correct me if I'm
No,
wrong, right?
that
So
50,000
either pay
was
20% or
was an income after, or
Sridhar,
it is the income that
what
you
are
have
you doing
already-
here?
The investment
Pack
that
up
you
and
made
go.
after paying the local taxes there, correct? So that was you had an income, you had the TDS, you had paid, and you bought that property.
right.
The property appreciated because of many
Right.
reasons.
Right.
Now you gained out of it. So how are you going to calculate the asset value of that property
Fair
now?
market value.
So you
Yeah,
take
yeah,
the
of
fair market value,
All
and
this,
that
that's the
becomes
same
your.
concept. Same concept everywhere.
But Sanjay, I will Guru on that how you when you sell it. I think Indian government tax
Index.
yeah, that cost of
But not here.
not here in India.
You have to index it to the cost of inflation. But not here.
Here it is fair market.
Fair market value.
So on the $50,000, he will end up paying tax in India.
In India,
20%.
20%.
20%. Suppose you paid $50,000,
So
20%,
$10,000.
$10,000.
Yeah. Then
But
what
you have to
happens?
declare here
Okay.
$50,000
Yeah.
and put as a Schedule D,
Yeah.
capital gains,
Okay.
right? Whatever tax comes in the calculation, right? Minus the credit that you $10,000 you paid there.
Oh, I see.
So there's no double tax. But there's more reporting requirement.
Okay.
But there's income reporting and there's balance reporting.
Now, is it easy to convert from that NRO account from rupees to dollar account to bring it back here?
That's a great question. I think It depends on the bank managers basically.
So they have power to convert.
They have power. If you have a good relation with the bank manager, they will do it.
FCNR account you can still
Yeah, if you have
No,
good relation with
FCNR
the,
is easy. I'm not.
no,
That's
no,
my
if you have a
question.
good relation with the bank manager, they have the power to do it.
Yeah.
It depends upon relationship.
See, you put
RBI
money-
guidelines doesn't say anything about
Yeah.
that, whether they can convert or not. They have the rights. They
Okay.
have the power.
On the same note, let's say if you get some agriculture land from your ancestors by inheritance, right? Now we don't know the value of the agriculture land. It came to you through somehow. How do you do that now?
If you sell the property,
Yeah, if you sell the property.
the sale consideration, sale date will be there, right?
Yeah.
Stamp paper will be there.
Yeah.
That's the word it is.
No. But
The entire gain, the whole amount is a gain then.
Then.
You
Oh,
pay tax
really?
on the whole,
Yeah.
absolutely. Everything, you sell in agriculture.
Oh my God.
Again.
you're really screwed this time.
You'll not be able to sleep tonight.
No. I mean, this is everybody's problem, right?
We don't want to make. We want to just explain. I just want to explain what's going on with the foreign account reporting. See the depth of this reporting.
Yeah.
See the depth where we are now. We are standing where. So we have the balance reporting, there's income reporting, there's property reporting, there's interest income reporting. Not property income reporting.
So just a supplement to that previous question. Okay. So what happened? The property that you sold, because in India they have the power of attorney which somebody else can sell, right? So you had an ex-person taking a power of attorney. Say your father or brother took a power of attorney. He sold it, and he gave the money to you because you are not generally directly selling. So now that money is with you. So how are you going to?
Where am I? Here?
No, back in India, and now you are depositing that to you.
Where am I? I'm in India.
You are in India.
What am I? I'm a
So
citizen.
I am
of this-
here, and okay. So
You're a citizen.
I am a citizen.
You're here.
Yeah.
So somebody gave you the money from the sale constellation?
Correct.
How?
Because, I mean, it is. Yeah, see, it's a property
No,
that
I'm coming there. I'm coming. How did you receive that money?
No, what he's saying is,
I received by way of transaction, the DD and the cash.
Which one? He's asking what?
so what he's saying is his property is sold by his brother because
That's fine.
he's here.
His property is
So it doesn't matter how many
No,
comes.
so that's why my question is, how did you receive that money?
I mean,
Cash.
receive in what form or?
How?
It is a bank transfer, bank.
So when you received that
Not here. No, it is still in
India.
your FC, in India. There's still that has to be reported. Was my question.
Yeah, you have to report that income because it come in the NRO account.
So it's not an income, right? It is a gift.
It's a balance report.
It's a balance report.
You have to report that.
Oh.
Now coming to your make it further more. So suppose you say, okay, I want to game the system. Okay, I have the property in my name. I will have somebody sell it, right? And that person gets the cash or whatever money, and he sends you a wire transfer.
He deposits in your account. Okay, fine.
Or he sends a wire transfer, or DD, or sends wire transfer, or you go there and collect the money and come here. Then what you do? You put the money in the bank.
Correct.
That's it, done.
Right. So you are still.
And if you get audited, and from that money, what are you going to do? You're going to put that money either in business,
Correct.
or you're going to put that money in property here,
Correct.
right? So you will keep on filing the return. Once you get audited in a chain of 5 to 7 years, because that's what the survey says, the report says that every gets audited in 1 to 10 years time. So if you get audited in 10 years, say, for example, right? They will ask you this question that time. You're getting this property. How did you make this? From where did you get this money from? What are you going to say?
We have to do everything in black and put it in gold.
Coming to gold. Coming to gold.
No,
Coming to
even
gold.
Very good point. Now here is the answer.
Coming to gold. Let me answer that question too. Coming to gold. People will say, oh man, Indians like gold. Marriage, everything, right? We like gold, everything, gold ornaments, diamonds, whatnot. If you put that money in gold, what are you going to use that money for? Gold for? Are you going to put it for like a lifetime or gift it to somebody? Somebody is going to sell this gold somewhere down the line, and somebody will generate income from that money, from that gold, somewhere down the line. Then what are you going to do? Use that money for? Again, same thing. An investment, business.
Somehow it has to go to the bank. That is your point.
Somewhere has to go to the bank.
Then
Somebody
what
has to
happens?
go put to the bank.
Yeah,
Bank is a reporting requirement.
yeah. Correct. Very good point.
Necessarily, right? If you have gold, I mean, it doesn't have to go back.
Ultimately, it has to be converted.
Cash.
But see,
You need money no matter what
it
it is.
means your money is not useful.
Right.
You buy gold, you put it in the safe deposit box. What do you do with it?
In kind, some other thing. I give gold and you take property or whatever you want.
But then you report.
Basically, barter. Basically, barter.
No,
You are
not
avoiding
here.
the fucking
Not
tax.
here.
That's all.
Again, you're bartering for property. How are you going to sell the property?
See, final
Basically,
media
we are
is
avoiding
money.
the banks.
Correct. Cash is the final media that
And it has to go to bank.
Cash is the final video, but the problem is how are you going to deposit that cash? Somewhere you have to use the bank
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
So let's say you go to somewhere and travel and then spend it.
How you travel?
How much money are you
How
going to
much?
spend in
How much?
I have one more small
again,
question.
you cannot.
From your parent wants to give you $100,000 in India.
50,000. Beyond that, what are you going to spend?
My father wants to give me $100,000.
Your father wants to give $100,000 like 50 lakh rupees.
50 lakh rupees.
So, okay, there is no gift tax in India, that's fine. Right.
So how do I bring it here?
You can bring legal channels. RBI allows it.
So
This
there's-
general permission is required. No special.
So what are the rules for that?
What are the rules and what are the tax requirements? Do
No,
we need to pay
there's
any
no
tax
rules.
here?
Just make a gift deed. Your father makes a gift deed.
Okay.
Out of love, natural love and affection, he's transferring the money to you.
Okay.
$100,000. You don't need a special permission from RBI. The general permission. He goes to the RBI, just file that form there. General permission is on the counter. They will give you general permission. Transfer the money and that's fine. You can transfer.
No, but what about here? No reporting
No
requirement
reporting.
here?
No reporting requirement because it's through a legal channel.
Oh, I see.
And father is giving a gift and there's a gift deed.
I see.
So
So
do you have to pay any tax on that?
See, the tax is not based upon money transfers. But there's a balanced reporting on the money transfers. That's the important thing. And no country taxes money coming in.
No, that's then I would have done. See, the previous question that I asked was like, some brother you are selling the property. Instead of he giving you cash, he would have given a gift tax and gift check, and then you would have brought it here, right?
Naturally.
No, but he sells it. The property is on whose name?
that is what matters, sir. That is what he's saying.
Property is in your name or anything. Once power of once you execute a general power of attorney,
Well, you're coming to nitty-gritty of avoiding tax in India.
right? Once you have a
Just
general
broker
power of
and all the
attorney,
stuff.
you have no rights to own the property.
No,
You
I
are-
understand.
But the ownership, see, power of attorney does not transfer the ownership.
It transfers in India. That's what I was trying to
In
come to
India,
the
you
point.
can do that. I don't want to go into that route, but you can definitely do it. But again,
Sorry, I don't want to.
it has to be a proper channel.
We want to know. There is a second session.
Second, that's outside, not officially.
Suppose somebody wants to sell, somebody wants an apartment in Noida, and after 3 years somebody wants to sell it, right? And you transfer money from here, from the stock market or whatever, and you bought the property now, you sell after 3 years. So what is the right channel from tax and from
That's what I'm saying. So you have to declare that income in India. Okay, file the return. File the return in India. Pay the tax there. If you don't want to pay tax, you can put the money into capital gain exemption balance. Right? Declare that income here on your taxes. Right?
extra income?
Extra income. Now, if you receive money in black, you still have to report the full amount. Because there's no black concept here.
One year, whatever half the money you get is black in India.
There's no black concept here.
That is never anyway.
So
How are we going to transfer that money black?
you cannot. Yes, I'm facing the same problem as well. So you cannot transfer that money. You have to reinvest back. That black money you can reinvest back into the.
You can get it here if you put it as income.
No,
But you will get in trouble in India. How will you
India.
go? You will take black money and put it in the bank, is it?
Right.
You can do that.
How?
How to bring this like
See, in bank they don't take more than 50,000 now.
So you have to report that income, total income, on the total money you receive.
okay.
And then you can bring that money.
So see, if I
Then you can deposit that
if
money
I sell
in
it
the
for
bank.
$1 million,
Then you can deposit that money in the bank.
so even if
Whether
it
it's
is
black or white doesn't matter.
But once you declare, you would pay tax on that.
Why do you say it doesn't matter black and white? You can deposit
Because
in the
once you
bank
pay tax, whether you put anywhere in the world, no, who cares? You pay US tax.
now. Then
So
you
the
can
long-
pay US tax.
so the long term tax is 20%. It doesn't matter.
Long term is 20% here and 50% here.
50%. 50%.
So, but
So it doesn't matter whether you get it in black or anything. You sell the property. This is the gross amount that you are selling.
This is the gross amount. This
worst
is the
case
cost.
scenario is 20%. That's what he's saying.
Correct. Yeah. That,
Worst
yeah.
case
There's
yeah.
maximum
That is FEMA
cap.
Online also says 20%.
So in effect, what happens is, you pay 5% to India, 50% to US. That's the bottom line.
that you did not file
But still, I don't know one thing. I think
So if you not file the FBR form, no, it will depend whether you file the FBR, whether balance is 1 year or
real transaction
from
either career.
So you have to go under the scheme.
After the year.
You have to go under the MSS scheme.
Only if you qualify.
If you qualify, well, you will be qualified because you have not reported the interest income.
Yeah, I reported.
Interest income you reported. So you not just file the FBAR.
Yeah.
Then you can file the FBAR late prior FBARs too. You don't need to go under the scheme. So what you have to do for each year, just get the FBAR form, TDF, 90, there's a year. On top of the form there says the year. Just put the year 2007, 8, 9, attach a letter to the form saying why did not you file it, and then send it.
So what are the contents for this form? What else is the inputs for this form? All your statements, bank account numbers.
So input, that's a great question, so you can sum it up. So the input, the form, what it needs is you have to go to the India, or you can call your bank, that's a bank account number, maximum value in the account. When I say maximum value means during a period of whole year, what's the maximum balance on any day?
Tell me the form on FB.
No, TDF, TD space F 90-22.1. So just report on foreign bank accounts and TDF, so some space is there, the 90.
Sanjeev, we didn't catch you again now because you are filing this form.
No, you're complying with the requirement. So I told you the penalty of not filing the form.
In July or something, right?
There can be no investigation because you're complying with the requirement.
So how much is the penalty
If you
for
don't
that?
do it, penalty is $50,000 and 5 years in jail.
No. If I do it right now,
That's why you make a letter. You make a letter saying why did not you file it.
okay, for that we have to penalty for that because
No penalty. If you
and that
don't,
is August 21st is the
no. That for filing the form, the June 30th was the deadline. But June 30th of this year was the deadline. But you can still file late with the letter. Why didn't you can say we did not get the data from the bank took all the time in the world to get that information. So you can, they're okay with it. As long as you're complying with the requirement, they're okay. They're not going to go after this.
Say, imagine that you don't have more than, at any point of time, that is not possible. You would have varied up more than $10,000 at one point of
Yeah,
time.
it's a small
So is
amount.
this IRS?
Everybody will have it.
Exactly.
So I can go to irs.gov and
You can Google this form, you'll get it. There's so many things. There's so many things going on in this form.
So can you take a use case now?
Use case means
Use case means say it's a US citizen who's here and he has property, he has DMAT, and let's say he has regular bank accounts and he has the bonds that you talk about. What is the white way, what is the grey way, what is the black way? Can you just sort of address that?
Good evening, LATS. We will be wrapping up our current session in a few minutes.
so. Answer your question. If he's a US citizen, I will not say US citizen. I will say US green card, US resident, H1, L1, F1, J1, Q1.
No matter whether you breathe here. If you are breathing here, you are here.
So if you are here and you have intent,
Obama needs money.
and you intend to live in this country, you intend to live in this country on long-term basis. If you have an account in India, you have to put that account here on that form F1.
You need to be here.
File that form by June 30th of each year. Right? Report the income on those accounts.
It's not
On the
scary.
tax return here.
You don't feel like not working. Schedule B. Better being a social security and relax.
And also report the income on the Indian taxes. Now, so now I will talk for a few minutes about Indian tax laws. So nobody talks about Indian tax laws, but I talk. So Indian tax law says, now they are sharing the information, they are getting information from India. The same way the Indian people will get the information from them. If you file this form, a copy will be going to them too. Now, actually they are getting the information from India, right? So there is global sharing of information. With terrorist financing, all those things, there is global sharing of information. So they will say, okay, you're declaring in US, where is our tax here?
Yeah, you show it here.
Where is our tax here? And coming 2012, direct tax code is coming in India. Direct tax code, DTC. Now under the direct tax code, they are taxing you on worldwide income. They are going in India. They are going the route of US.
So
So Well, you have to.
Citizens here.
So what? So what? They're tax. They're going because they have to put more
Same
money
thing,
under the
whatever
table.
this country is doing, India wants to do.
No, but we don't live there. No, so how can they? So
That's
they
good, but you don't live there, but you make money from there.
That money they are going to tax them. But they can't tax the money I make here.
No, no. But they are going to tax. They're going to tax the money you make there, like property income, like stock gains.
See, they are happy as long as you just pour in. They are unhappy when you take back.
But what is this? For the income made us, like
Same
we work for a
here.
company, right?
Sorry.
For the tax we pay here, for income we make here, we don't report it to Indian IT.
You don't have to.
So the tax you report, you pay there. Yeah, you don't need to report. They're concerned with their income there.
So today,
But then whatever income we make there,
Yeah.
If you have a fixed
So,
deposit in India,
so for example, till 150,000 rupees, there's no tax there.
150,000 rupees.
150,000 rupees.
So that's
1,50,000 rupees. There's no tax there. That is a gazetted rates. If you're senior citizen, there's $500,000.
Up to 5 lakhs.
Up to 5 lakh is the gazetted rates. But it's taxable there.
that's very rare that any of us are making money there.
No, the people make money. They put in CD account, they put in RBI bonds, they put all this UTI bonds, they have money in stock market, they have money. People have made a lot of money, not one.
No. See, one thing.
Crores of rupees they have made.
See, because H1s,
They are making nothing here.
see, because a lot of H1s and Q1s, L1s, V1s, I don't know, they have a salary coming from there, their income coming from
Salary coming from there.
that's a complex problem.
No, I don't want to enter into that salary. What they are
I don't
reporting.
think any of us
Like for example,
I agree with him that close up together. A lot of people have
Infosys, like let me give you about Infosys. The guys coming from Infosys, they're getting partly income there and partly income here, and they will mess up big time because they're not reporting that income here.
So one more question. So today, if I'm having income there, I don't have to report it here. Sorry, I don't have to pay tax in India.
If you are under this 150,000 rupees limit,
That's only $3,000.
$3,000.
Single taxation point, that's what either there or here is the point that.
Then how DTC is different? So if I make income there, I have to pay money today.
today.
What is the difference in DTC?
So if you make money from here, you have to report that income there.
so if you are living in
All my
India,
salary and everything, money, I have to report.
But there will be exemptions on
We're
that.
not done.